right, so if you want to know a little bit about my classroom, then you can log on to sites.google.com/oakgrovesd.net/A St. Lawrence, and it should come up with my Google site, which says Learn with Miss St. Lawrence. If you scroll down, you'll see the distance learning schedule, so what classes I have during which days. Then, if you'll notice underneath that, each one of these Bitmojis is a link to something specific that may help your student. And then at the very bottom of the page, we have links for most of the websites that we use during class. So if you are in Math 8, you can check out the syllabus and the expectations during the classroom by clicking on the Bitmoji. The same thing happens with the robotics syllabus. If you'll notice, for participation, it is a rubric that talks about how students are graded on their participation. There are 3 categories with scores of 1 through 4, 4 being meeting and exceeding standards, and 1 being needs a little bit more help. So, digital participation consists of communication, conversation, and collaboration. Looking a little bit more at what else we have, our distance expectations. That will bring up our learning mantra for this year about SLANT, having a space for learning, looking at your screen, asking questions, nodding your head, and talking to others. If you continue, you'll see our class schedule, which is a kind of a breakdown of what we will achieve during each class. Basically, I will be online 10 minutes before class. For the first 10 minutes, I will take attendance. They log into Nearpod and we'll have a warm-up. For the beginning of class, we'll have lesson 1. They'll have time to practice. Then we have lesson 2, and then more time to practice. And then I always leave questions at the end of class if they have questions or need help with something. If you would like to check your students' grades or set up your own Infinite Campus portal, this is a great link. It's a tutorial for parents and students. You can click on students so they can learn how to set up their Infinite Campus. And for you, the parent portal, you can click on that and then click through the slide deck. That will help you figure out how to sign in, how to see your students' grades, how to see their upcoming assignments, how to see their calendar, and the scores they receive on their assignments. Going down to the next group, you have the grading calendar. So when each student is expected to, complete their work within the quarter. So for example, August 12th was the first day of school and their first quarter ends on September 25th. You can see all the other terms on here, including the semester dates, and you can see when the whole year closes on Friday, June 4th. For the school calendar, there is a link to the school calendar that shows you the holidays, and it shows you, here we are, when we have winter break, when we have spring break, when we have September break, and other holidays that we use. The calendar is in English, it's in Spanish, and it is in Vietnamese. Then after that, you can take a look at our back to school night presentation. Then I have a link for school sports. These are the sports that we offer at Herman. So far, we have gotten rid of the fall sports, which consist of softball and cross country, and unfortunately, girls basketball. However, we still will have boys basketball, girls and boys volleyball, A team and B team, girls and boys soccer, and then track and field. You can see the list of the coaches that are anticipated to coach each of these each of these sports during this year, and who the athletic directors are. If you would like more information on school clubs, we are still updating that list right now, but so far we have 5 lunchtime clubs that your students can participate in. And then the very last link is for your counselors. So there are 2 counselors at Herman Intermediate School, and you can look through their presentation and a little bit more about them and how your student can receive help if they need it outside of the classroom. For back to school night, let's get to the presentation. So you will notice on the back to school night, I have put math and elective. But a little bit about me. I'm the one on the left-hand side. My name is Miss St. Lawrence. I'm the Math 8 Common Core State Standards teacher and the elective teacher for robotics. I'm one of the athletic directors at Herman Intermediate School. I coach cross country, boys volleyball, and track and field. I am the sprint and relay coach. Next to me is Miss Kearns. She also coaches cross country and track. For math, we adhere to the Common Core State Standards. Our curriculum is CPM Course 3, College Preparatory Mathematics. And if you came to get your supply kit on Wednesday, they were given a workbook that coincides with the textbook. If you would like more about the standards, you can feel free to click on the California Department of Education website. If you are in robotics, we also adhere to the math standards, and we are a project-based class, which means that they do not have daily homework. Everything should be achieved in class. For the beginning of this, we'll be using microbits, and your kits were already passed out to you. If you have questions about robotics, feel free to reach out to me. For discipline, students are expected to act respectfully, responsibly, and safely at all times. If they are not followed, their first offense is a warning and a redirection given by me. If they continue to misbehave in class, then they'll have a conversation with me and I will notify you of whatever's happening in class. For example, if I notice that they are not actively online, their camera is off, they are not participating in iReady, they are not participating in the Nearpod lesson, they haven't signed on, this is a problem because your student needs to actively participate in the lessons just as they would for in-person learning. The third offense, which means I have notified you before of a certain type of behavior. If they continue those behaviors, then it does result in an office referral. Please note, severe misconduct will result in immediate dismissal from class or an office referral. So, grading for math. Homework are normally 10 points per assignment. Quizzes are anywhere between 35 to 70 points. Tests, especially chapter tests, are always 100 points, and classwork is between 10 and 40 points. Projects are always to be determined. Late work. Please remember, if work is turned in late, it will result in half credit. I accept no late work once we complete a chapter test. For example, once we finish chapter 1 and we are into chapter 2, even if we're in the same quarter, your student cannot turn in previous chapters' work because I want them to focus on learning the new curriculum than always trying to catch up. But students must email me to let me know when they turn in a late assignment, because with distance learning, it's difficult for me to know what is being resubmitted and what is done late and how to grade it with the correct mindset. For elective, they get classwork and participation points, 10 points per assignment. Homework, which is not really homework, I would include that as the syllabus, as certain things that are done on Wednesdays. You can think of that as homework. And projects, our projects go from anywhere from 20 to 200 points, depending on how long the project is and how far we are in the curriculum. If work is turned in late, after the project deadline, they result in half credit, unless they email me beforehand to tell me a reason why their work might be late, or if there was a snafu with their internet or they're having difficulty with the microbit. So some classroom details. I post the assignments daily and update the grades weekly. It's been a little wonky with the beginning of the year, but assignments should be coming out regularly after this week. If work is turned in late, you must email me either on Parent Square or at astlaurence@ogsd.net to let me know that you have turned work in. Just sharing it with me on Google Classroom, I don't get notifications. So sometimes I am not aware. So maybe the most important thing is how you can help. Keep up with your students' grades, their announcements, and more on Infinite Campus and Parent Square. Like I said, if you go back to my website and you need help with Infinite Campus, click on this icon here and it will take you to a slideshow with screenshots about how to get set up. If you didn't pick up a supply bag or you have these at home, your students will most definitely need colored pencils, any kind of wood pencils or mechanical pencils. If many students like these flare pens, these are not required, but they are recommended. And then graph paper. It could be loose leaf, but we also pass out a graph paper composition notebook. If you need supplies or you weren't able to pick them up, please let me know, and I can leave a bag for you in the office that you can pick up at your convenience. Other than that, I hope we have a wonderful year together. Please email me at astLawrence@ogsd.net if you have any questions, and I look forward to learning with you all this year.